Hey guys, it's Vishnu. I know it's been some time since I've posted anything on YouTube, and through this video I'm trying to walk you through one of the days that we have. Today I'm on a rheumatology elective, so it's going to be rather chill and rather slow pace, so I think I'm getting an opportunity to do this. For the most part, I wake up early at about 5 or 5:30 a.m. to be able to get to the hospital in time, and a good side of which is being able to wake up to these beautiful sunrises. My morning usually starts with me making a nice cup of tea and just giving myself a few extra minutes in the day to just reflect upon how things have changed so far. I am currently a PG5 in neurology at a university program, and my first year is internal medicine. So internal medicine is usually divided into essential service and elective time. And on electives, I think it's rather relaxed and slow paced, as I was mentioning earlier, which gives me the opportunity to enjoy my mornings a little bit better. During this time, I also like to talk to my parents over a phone. I listen to some music and just overall plan things for the day, which might include seeing a few concerts. Things sometimes do get rushed on floors, which does not let me have this morning routine for myself, but that I often replace with an evening routine, which is equally fun. Waking up early is something I've learned to be okay with and even be happy with as I progressed over the last few weeks and months of residency. Thankfully, I have a very short commute. So the Patco train connects Center City, Philadelphia to multiple stops in New Jersey, and the time to the hospital usually takes about 10 minutes. So I have about a 5-minute walk from where I live to the nearest Patco station, about 10 minutes in the Patco, and another 5 or 6 minutes walk to the actual campus of the hospital. The Patco ride is actually enjoyable. It's pretty short, takes about 10 or 15 minutes at the max, is reliable. Almost always you're able to find a seat to be able to get seated, and there are pretty views like this. The next couple of minutes that you're going to see were short when it was a little brighter, maybe at about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. For the most part, I just straight stare outside the window, but when I'm really bored, I usually have a book to read with me. While you watch outside the Patco's window, I want to talk about something important. When you're choosing your residency program, you want to go to a place where the people are nice and you feel welcomed. You are going to spend the next few years of your life in a setting which is going to be demanding mentally and physically. So you want to be in a place where you feel welcomed and supported. That's definitely how I feel here, and that makes me really happy. And obviously, you want to be in a place where your life outside of medicine is still going strong and smooth. If you're someone that loves the city, I think you should make a reasonable effort to pick places that are in the city or at least very close to the city. That is going to impact how you are functioning in your day-to-day life, and indirectly or rather directly going to affect the functioning of your functioning as a resident. And just like that, within a matter of few minutes of contemplating and thinking and talking to yourself, you'd reach the hospital. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. is board review time. We usually have board style questions that everyone from PGY 1, 2 and 3, whoever is on the schedule, answers, and we have a discussion and further continuation of the topics, which I find is usually pretty fun. After this, you're going to go to your call room and chart check your patients, which is where you try to gather most of the information that you can. And obviously, you are not going to do this if the patient has an urgent consult or if they need to be seen more emergently. While reviewing the patient's charts, you want to make sure what's really happening. You want to make sure if they have any abnormal labs. You want to see if there is any imaging that is relevant to the consult that you have, and so on and so forth. You then make your way to the patient's room, and for obvious reasons I have not included the patient encounter here. I sometimes stop and stare outside the windows, which you will notice me doing very frequently while waiting for the elevators. After you see the patient, you do the same again with the attending and the fellow, the timing of which entirely depends. At about 12, you assemble for a noon lecture, the topic of which can be anywhere from medical content to quality improvement projects. At about 1 or so, you get back to your call room, which is where you have time to create notes, you have time to call and update the primary team about what your recommendations are. Lunch is usually during the conference, but if you miss that, we do have plenty of options. I'm now back from the hospital. I took a shower, I had something to drink and eat, and now I'm probably gonna go outside and take a walk simply because it's really nice outside, and then figure out what to do for the rest of the day. I actually did go outside, but then I wanted to purchase something off Amazon and decided to do that before I head out. During this time, I also made myself another cup of tea because why not? And in the next few minutes, you're going to see a couple of sunsets I've recorded over 2 days, which I think are pretty. I often sit by my window and just stare outside, which usually consumes a lot of time, but as someone said, the time that you enjoy is not time wasted, right? Do not get the wrong ideas. Well, there are definitely days like this ones. More often than not, you're in the hospital at least from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you would barely have time for yourself. But then again, it's important to make time to do things that you like. For example, just taking a walk across the city, or just being able to cook nice things for you. And if you're too tired, maybe a nice meal in a restaurant, right? A lot of the times, if you live in the center city, you run across into friends that also live in the area, which is kind of like a nice meetup. My days usually end at about 9:30 or 10 p.m. where I call my family and then go to bed. And while I sign off, here's a nice time lapse of sunset that, again, I recorded from outside my window. Hope this was fun.